Welcome. Good morning and welcome. Here we are. Happy Thursday morning. That's so cool. And let's get started.
Close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath. And I want you to just visualize this violet light and energy that's coming in through the top of your head. And streamers, I want you to be doing this too. Close your eyes and just see this beautiful violet light and energy coming in. It's your power that's flowing into you. I want you to just deeply relax. Just let your hands drop. Relax your feet and your legs. Take a big breath through your diaphragm. Take another breath. I want you to just imagine this violet energy and it's flowing in. And picture yourself, you're just on this river. It's a soft flowing river. You're floating in a little boat and it's just flowing. It's a river of timelessness. There's no time and space. You just feel this beautiful energy flowing to and through you. And understand that within you is so much power. And it's so marvelous. And it's all for your greater good. And it's all directed by your thought. Any fear is just flowing right out with that violet light, which is coming to and through you. And it just disappears when it flows through you. And it flows down into your neck and into your chest. And you feel so calm. And you get this feeling of certainty. Certainty that you're on the right path. Confidence that you're becoming aware of everything you need to become aware of to live the life that you want to live. And as it's flowing through your body, just feel it go down one arm and the other, and it goes through your fingertips, and then it comes right back through your head, and it's circulating, continually circulating and cleansing and leaving you feel beautiful and calm and confident, and understanding that this marvelous inner world is your world and that you can do whatever you want. It's not just going to work for somebody else. It's working for you right here, right now. You choose your experience, and it's flowing down through your torso into your lower body, and you just really have an understanding of what a great person you are, how kind you are, how generous you are, how you're always outward thinking. How can I make a difference? How can I help somebody? How can I raise my awareness and translate it for someone else to help them? And just see yourself right now. You're the director of your life. Really see and feel yourself having an experience that can only happen after your big goal is manifested. It's in your physical world and you're experiencing this and you're feeling it. And this violet energy is swirling around, building your confidence, building your awareness. Really lock that in and feel immense gratitude that you have an awareness that only a very, very small percent of people in the world have. And you have faith in this power within you. And you know no matter what, you can direct it. Always bring it back to this place. I want you to just take a deep breath and lock that feeling in. And just think gratitude. In every cell of your being, gratitude. A deep, deep appreciation for where you are, right here and right now. There's a marvelous inner world. It exists within you. And it allows you to do, to attain, and to achieve anything you want within the bounds or limits of nature. You decide what that is for you. Now I want you to come back, open your eyes, lock that in, really lock it in, keep it with you all day. Open your eyes.
Perfect. Gratitude. I like the end, how it's like, lock that in, lock that in. So imagine you can lock that in every day. Lock that in every day. So if you've had your eyes closed and you didn't have the chance yet to write your goal, let's take a little bit here, at least to write your goal a few times. I do at least 3 times in the morning. So I'm going to do that right now. And so go ahead and do that. And just remember gratitude. Now, when I'm grateful, I'm also grateful for my goal that's coming to me. I'm not just grateful for what I have right now. I am, and I find these 10 things that I'm grateful for. But I'm also grateful for the goal that's coming to me. So I'm going to write that. It's like my goal, but I'm grateful that it is alive. It's here and it's happening. Right, so welcome. So if this is your first time listening to the stream, or this is your second time or third time, welcome. I'm learning a lot of cool stuff, especially about the I am and about the being instead of wanting. So today I'm gonna share with you some things about the energy that's available that we're not using. So there is energy out there, and if you're out of energy, it's because you're out of your desire, you're out of your field, and you need to recalibrate, you need to readjust to get back in the field. So there is hope, there is help for you out there. The key is, do you want to, right? Do you want to? So you cannot want and have at the same time. So you can want all you want, but you're not going to have it unless you be it. So I want you to remember that thought for the day. But where is this power coming from? How do we get power? So in Think and Grow Rich, which we've been going through it throughout the whole month of November, my birthday month, and it's just incredible. I'm probably going to do that again next year, where we go through it a few times. So we are studying today chapter 11. The mystery of sex transmutation. Now, why is that? What does Napoleon Hill have to do with sex? What's this transmutation? What is this thing? Well, it's a mystery, and it is about the sex energy, and it is about transmutation and how we can move energy around. And but before I do that, I want you to lock it in on the desire. So he did finish yesterday with the power of the mastermind and with the following sentence. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do. But only if you know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. Now, both of these are covered in Thinking into Results, in the coaching that we do, in the group coaching and the masterminding. So if that's what you want, and if that's what you're looking for, we're here for you. Now, why the laws? We studied yesterday the laws. We had a summary of them. And today we're going to talk about the stimuli that is needed to get into the field. Okay, let's put it that way. Let me get the chapter. See if this thing cooperates. Okay, it might not cooperate, but it might cooperate. Here we go. It will cooperate. So get to see my screen in a second. Here we go. So this is the paragraph that I just read. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do. But only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. So there you have it. All right. So Mystery of Sex Transmutation. It's a beautiful chapter. When I first read Napoleon Hill's book, I did not want to read this chapter. I was kind of, oh wow, what is he talking about? I'm not comfortable with this. But now that I understood that he's talking about the energy that's available, it's a powerful chapter. And I think most of us don't use it to the max, or don't use that energy properly. So the meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. So we're transmuting. See, energies, that's all we could do. You cannot create it, you cannot destroy it. We could just move the energy, right? If you've studied any physics or any chemistry, if you've finished high school grade 10, we all know that material is already here. You could not destroy it. You have to just move the energy around. The emotion of sex brings into being a state of mind in a special way. Because of ignorance on the subject, and ignorance is not knowing, this state of mind is generally associated with the physical, and because of improper influences to which most people have been subjected. In acquiring knowledge of sex, things essentially physical have highly biased the mind. So we're not talking just about the physical. He right away it says it. This is not the physical thing, but that's what the thing is. Very few people understand this, and they associate that energy with the physical aspect of it, and it just kind of messes up the whole thing. So just open up your mind, drop the guard, and just, listen in for a second here. The emotion of sex has back of it the possibility of three constructive potentialities. They are the perpetuation of mankind, to keep humans around, the maintenance of health as a therapeutic agency. It has no equal. So, and three, the transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation. These three things are powerful. And if this emotion, if this energy is available, and if this is available to you and we're not using it, it's shame on us, all right? Sex transmutation is simple and easily explained. It means the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. Sex desire is the most powerful of human desires. When driven by this desire, men develop keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. So strong and impelling is a desire for sexual contact that men freely run the risk of life and reputation to indulge it. When harnessed and redirected along other lines, this motivating force maintains all of its attributes of keenness of imagination, courage, which may be used as powerful creative forces in literature, art, or in any other profession or calling, including, of course, the accumulation of riches. So it's big, it's powerful, it's unknown, and of course, it's men and women. Here, it's mostly, male language, but it's actually men and women. It's just the way the book was written at the time. The transmutation of sex energy calls for the exercise of willpower, to be sure, but the reward is worth the effort. And remember, in thinking into results, we study the higher mental faculties, which has to do with the will, intuition, reason. The desire of sexual expression is inborn and natural. It's inborn and natural. The desire cannot and should not be submerged or eliminated, but it should be given an outlet through forms of expression which enriches the body, mind, and spirit of man. If not given this form of outlet through transmutation, it will seek outlets through purely physical channels. So the energy is there. The key is, are we using it properly? A river may be dammed and its water controlled for a time, but eventually it will force an outlet. The same is true of the emotion of sex. It may be submerged and controlled for a time, but its very nature causes it to be ever-seeking means of expression. If it's not transmuted into some creative effort, it will find a less worthy outlet. Fortunate indeed is a person who has discovered how to give sex emotion an outlet through some form of creative effort, for he has, by that discovery, lifted himself to the status of a genius. Now that by itself should be enough for you and I to be wanting to have this book, to understand it and know what the hell is he talking about. Is this crazy or what? And this stuff has been around for how long? Late 1700, 1800, and 1900 is when really was just putting it on papers, when that was started becoming available to everybody, and we don't even know about it. In barely 10 pages, if you understand them, there's a whole level of achievement that you can achieve. That's why this book is exciting. Let's read these two things. Scientific research has disclosed these significant facts. This is science. This is not theory. This is not theology. It's science. It's exact. Science means it's measured. The men of greatest achievements are men with highly developed sex natures, men who have learned the art of sex transmutation. So it means we can change this energy. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. Let me read that again. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architect, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. Now, most of my clients, let's say 60, 70% are women. So this is important because sometimes the material is more like, we think it's one-sided. No, it's the other way around. And when I go to the museums, when I go to watch art, there's a lot of stuff that's being influenced by the powerful woman. So there is so much more there to learn, right? We can just spend the whole hour on the first 2 pages, but I don't want to do that. I want to just intrigue you and excite you so that you can see that, wow, there's more to this. Definitely there is more to this, right? Now I'm going to share with you a couple things today on this chapter. But it's not just me. Also, I'm going to have Bob share with you and Sandy why this material can really change for the better. So we'll watch a quick video, then we come back, we read the 10 stimuli, then we watch the longer video about the whole chapter of the mystery of sex transmutation. But you got to read it. I mean, the lesson is so powerful. And if you don't read it, you're missing out. As far as I'm concerned, you're missing out. So, and I don't want you to miss out. But this is what Sandy and Bob put together. This is what I use to help the clients see things better. You know, when you hear it, and you know, we do different video clips. So this is one of them.
The only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you want it? I'm Sandy Gallagher, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Proctor Gallagher Institute. The purpose of our company is to help people connect to their higher side. And that's what enables us to live the life that we're truly meant to live. Our company is growing. We're growing at such a rapid pace. I feel so blessed with the people we're attracting to our company. We've been working for over a year on this program, just getting all the information out of Bob, drawing it out of him, all the 57 years he's been studying this and teaching this. And we wanted it all just condensed in this program that covers all the 13 principles of success. His #1 objective is to help people. That's what he's programmed to do. That's what gives him meaning in life. I've never seen anything like this.
This is vitally important in present tense. This part of your personality knows nothing about past or future. There's only now.
He dives into the 13 principles that Napoleon Hill wrote about in Think and Grow Rich. He's lived them, and it's the foundation of our entire company. He truly is a living legend. I want you to buckle your seatbelt and hang on, because you are in for quite a ride.
Throw the switch of that person you want to be.
Those ideas will be fixed in your mind, and that's the way you'll live.
All right, so let's go back to throw the switch. All right, but I want you to, we missed one sentence somewhere here that says the emotion of sex contains the secret of creative ability. So if you think you're not creative, if you think there's something missing, it's probably in here somewhere. The emotion of sex contains the secret of creative ability. How do these people draw all these beautiful things, build all these nice buildings? How do they come up with these magnificent machines, right? They're not different than you. They're just like you and I. Well, this is one of the forces. And if you want to throw the switch, if you want to start becoming innovative, creative, adventurous, if you want to start becoming interesting and exciting, you need to understand this material. I wish I understood this when I was younger. And if you're a parent, and some of you are listening are parents, you're going to understand this much better now, what to deal with when your teenagers are starting to feel this love energy and want to go out there and interact with the opposite sex, right? You're going to understand better what's happening and how to deal with it. So this is not just about you and I. This is about the whole understanding of the energy that's available, of what's really happening. Now, on the screen right here is a whole lecture that we can just be on it for a while, but we're going to talk about it for a few minutes, and then I'm going to have Bob explain it in his own way, and then I'm going to explain it in my way. But I want you to look at the stimulation, right? At the stimuli that makes people creative. Because when we're sitting down in a mastermind, in a group, in a sales office, in a executive boardroom, and I deal with a lot of VPs and CEOs, how do we get them to be so innovative and creative? Who is creative and who is not? How come some are and some not? How come some real estate agents, some of my clients are 10 timing the results, and others that are just on, not doing the same office, not doing much, and they're not? What is the difference? What did I teach Richie to 4 times his income? He went from being a disruptive employee, not feeling good, to opening his own business in tax and accounting. And now he's in the first 5 months of 2023, he's made more than he made in the previous 2 years. Tax and accounting, the most boring subject on earth, as far as I'm concerned, for me, right? You know, I just want somebody to do it. I just want to earn the money and want somebody else to count it and make it right. But he's doing it, right? So let's look at this. The 10 mind stimuli. So if you're looking to be excited, if you're looking to be energized and have different level of creativity in your office, in your business, in your community, this is for you. And don't even for a second think it has to do with the physical expression of sex. This has to do with your internal mind stimulation. The human mind responds to stimuli through which it may be keyed up to high rates of vibration, known as enthusiasm, creative imagination, intense desire. The stimuli to which the mind responds most freely are. So that's what I'm talking about. When you see people and they're excited, they're energized, they're moving with energy, they have expression, they have well-being, they are using some of this knowingly or unknowingly. A lot of them are unconscious competent. When you come and study this, you become conscious competent. So you become much more powerful because then you can use it as you please. Number one, the desire for sex expression. Huge. Number two, love. Number three, a burning desire for fame, power, or financial gain, money. Now, this is when you start fueling your mind with this is how you're going to have this different vibration. So when we talk about I'm at the frequency and vibration of my goal, all right, when I'm talking about I'm at the vibration of my frequency and my goal, that means I'm stimulated to the point where I feel the fame, I feel the power, I feel the financial gain. And feeling is the conscious awareness of vibration. So that's what we're talking about. What stimulates somebody, anybody, to be in that situation? How do you get to the vibration and frequency of your goal? The only reason you don't have what you want is because you're not at that frequency. You are just not at that frequency. And I want to get you to that frequency. Why? How are we going to get you there? Because we're going to do it by, number one, studying. Number two, elite level mentorship. And number three, accountability. This is a form of studying, some special material. To get into that frequency of vibration, you need to learn how to do it. And I'm teaching you how to do it right now. Number four, music. Why? Well, how come we turn music on when we're not feeling good and now we're feeling good? You go out dancing, you go to the bars, you hear some music and you feel good. What is really going on? You're learning how to control your mind. You're learning how to infuse your mind with some stimulation to have this energy. And that's why it works. That's why a lot of people turn music on to feel good, feel bad, feel sad. It's used in meditation, many different ways. Friendship between either those of the same sex or those of opposite sex. Real friendship. I'm not talking about surface level friendship. Real friendship. Do you have a mastermind? Do you have a group? Do you have a way to share what you have with somebody that you trust at the harmony that's required? A mastermind alliance based upon the harmony of two or more people who ally themselves for spiritual or temporal advancement. Now, this mastermind needs to be I suggested a business mastermind, somebody that could be at your game, your level, and they need to be even better than you. You have to seek for people like you or better, because remember, we become who we hang around with. So if you go do mastermind with the bums on the road, by the casinos and downtowns, that's not a good mastermind unless you want to learn about the city, what happens at night at the streets. But if you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your financial empire, if you want to grow your real estate empire, you better find a mastermind with people that are doing that. If you want to grow your mindset, you better find some people in that kind of mastermind to grow your mindset. So we become the average of the 4 or 5 people we hang around the most. And you need to find those people. Sometimes you have to pay to get into those people. We are doing that now with Thinking into Results on Mondays. When we study as a group, there's going to be the study first, and then there's going to be the mastermind. It's going to be part of the offering. That's what we decided. That's what I decided. So, so for those who are my clients, congrats. You just got a whole extra access to it. And it's going to be great. So this is the 10 mind stimuli. I never knew these. I don't know about you, but I never knew this until I started studying this 3 years ago with Bob, right? I didn't know. Look at number 7, mutual suffering, such as that experienced by people who are persecuted. That gives some kind of vibration, some kind of stimulation. It's crazy, you know, it's intense. It's negative. How else we can stimulate the mind? Auto-suggestion. It's one of the chapters. Repetition, right? Study. What do we do with studying? We're doing repetition. And yeah, it's annoying. And yeah, you do have to wake up in the morning. And yeah, you do have to kick yourself in the butt to get up and do it. And yeah, you do have to kick yourself and put your gear on and go to the gym. It's annoying. And many times you're gonna say, you know what? I'm not doing this. Repetition. Did I get it right? Maybe there's a spelling mistake. I'm not sure. Repetition. So, it should be a repetition. I think it's like that. But anyways, you get my drift. No, we don't want that. We want this. So, you have to force yourself to do some things over a period of time until it becomes a habit. And auto-suggestion is just part of repetition. It's the only 2 ways to learn something: repetition or emotional impact. I don't like emotional impact. Usually they're negative. So we use repetition. Part of the studying is repetition. You got to repeat something and go over and over and over and over. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Because we have a mind and when we repeat something over and over and over and over, you have an idea, you have a thought, some new thing, some new desire, but we got to keep doing it over and over and over until it grows to your burning desire. It's going to become your desire. It's not going to happen with 1 time. It's not going to happen with 2 times. It's not going to happen with 3 times. It's going to take as long as it takes. I've seen people that has changed instantaneously. I've seen people taking 6 days. I've seen people taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's all kind of research. 21 days for a habit, 66 days for a habit, 120 days. Who knows? I work with Harrison Klein. He has an instantaneous way. If you allow him to tune into you and you listen and you do what he tells you to do, you have an instantaneous shift in your belief. That means you don't need to do all this. So nobody really knows. But the one thing that we know for sure is you do it 1 time, you do it another 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 time. Eventually, this idea that you have, that you want the money, that you want the fame, that you want the car, that you want whatever, it's going to be lodged in here, in your subconscious mind. This is your subconscious. This is your conscious. And once it's lodged, guess what? It's yours for the taking. It has to happen. Your desire must become true. This is not my law. It's the law of the world. And everything is going to start moving around to help you get it. All the forces in nature will start coming to help you. But you have to have this desire. Hopefully you're working on a good mission. That's how people rally armies. That's how Gandhi did it. 200 million people. He had a huge mission. What are you doing over and over and over again to stimulate, to be on the high rate of vibration that you want to be on? That's why we're studying this. You know, I sometimes want to kick myself in the butt for not knowing this, going through university, because I could have, but I didn't. But it's okay, it's not too late. And why is it not too late? Because the rate of growth that we're going to go through, everybody that studies this, it's not linear. You're going to have these jumps. You're going to have these jumps in achievements. So you're going to go from baby dollars to bigger dollars if you up your game. If you up your game and you start taking more risks and start getting into the game of what I'm telling you, you're going to move mountains. So don't kick yourself and say it's too late for me. I don't care how old you are. I don't know if you're 18-year-old, if you're 70 years old. I've had everybody. The key is starting. You got to start. And you got to get serious about it. This is not just another course. This is just another book. This is real. You're going to tap into powers that hasn't been available to you before. Imagine you can tap into this creative imagination with an intense desire towards your goal. You'll be so excited about it, everybody's going to want to talk to you about it. Auto-suggestion is powerful. There's one chapter that we did, and if you haven't heard me talk about it, that by itself is worth the whole investment in being with me. So if you're listening to this live, and if you're one of my clients, if you haven't, make sure you listen to it. It's in the folders. And if you're new, listening to this for the first time, you gotta listen to this one. That by itself is powerful, okay? The 9th stimuli is fear. We did talk about fear, and it's also one of the chapters later in this book, The 6 Codes of Fear. We're gonna talk about that. Probably it's gonna be on the weekend. Unfortunately, some of you will not be here because I don't open the room on the weekend, but for my clients, maybe we can, because I want to finish the book this weekend. And then the last one is narcotics and alcohol. And you've seen this in movies probably. You know, these, magicians and these people, artists, they show it a lot in movies that they get high with the narcotics or they drink a lot and then they become creative. They write a book. They'll do all these different things, okay? That's where you've seen it. Now, you don't need to do that. I don't recommend it, but it's one of the ways, I don't do narcotics, and alcohol, it's a social drink here and there, nothing serious, but it's one of the ways to stimulate the mind. It's known. I don't recommend this because I don't know if you can stay in control. I feel like these ones you can be in control. This one, number 10, you probably cannot be in control. So now let's that's as far as I'm going to tell you on the subject itself myself, and then I'm going to let Bob talk about this chapter. So let's find it, and it's not a long chapter, which is kind of cool. I'm surprised because it is a long chapter in the book itself, but I really want you to read it. There's so much power in there. If you want to understand genius, my mentors, I have 2 of them. They've been studying genius for 40, 50 years. This is one area where they talk about a lot, So let's watch this, and then I'm going to mention to you some names that have used this power for the better, and you're going to recognize these names, okay? If you're just tuning in to this part of the video, we're watching the mystery of sex transmutation. This is power that's available to everybody, and it is a way to help you get in control of your mind and get in a stimulation mode at the frequency and vibration of your desire.
It's probably the strongest urge that you have. The sex urge is your creative urge. That's where your creative energy comes from. The meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. The one principle that I'm asked questions on most often, I think, is the mystery of sex transmutation. And I think it's just the word sex that caused people to want to ask questions on it. A bit of a mystery to them. Everybody understands sex in one way. And they think, how could that fit in a book like this, Sex Transmutation? I mean, what is that all about? Well, it's an interesting question. It's probably the strongest urge that you have. You see, we have urges. You'll find some people have a subnormal urge. Someone else will have an abnormal urge, and someone will have a normal urge. Like you have self-preservation is an urge, the urge of self-preservation. Some people have a subnormal self-preservation urge. You'll find they become daredevils, you know. Other people have abnormal. They wander around, they don't want anybody to get close to them, wearing masks, gloves. Another person will have a normal. Well, the sex urge is your creative urge. That's where your creative energy comes from. And the sex energy is the highest vibration there is. It causes people to move onto a very high frequency. Napoleon Hill points out that many of the super successful, if you study them, most of them never became very successful until maybe their 40s or possibly even early 50s. And he said, if you study their lives, they directed most of that sex energy into sexual activity. But then at some point, they transmuted it into a creative, productive type energy. Because that's what we do. I remember when I was probably in my late 20s, I was in business. I thought my sex life was going right down the tubes. And it was because I was all business. All my energy was going into my business. It was day and night. That's all I thought of. I never thought of anything else. I didn't even forget to eat. It's an extremely powerful vibration that we move into. And you're either directing it one way or another. Now, a person that's really in control of themselves, and we talk about that a lot in organized planning, self-analysis, and we really have to take control of ourselves if we're going to win. That's something we really want to address. We don't want to go all one way, or don't want to go all the other way. We want to bring some balance into our life. And we've got the ability to do that. And we can be very successful in all areas, but only if we're directing the energy. And that urge that we've got, that sex urge, that creative urge, it is very, very powerful. And it'll enable us to do phenomenal work because it moves us onto such a ridiculously high vibration. And when you move into that very high vibration, that's where some of the greatest ideas come from. So this is something you want to study. You want to be aware of how you're feeling. You want to be aware of what's going on inside. And as you study this and you really start to understand it, you start to understand that it is an urge. It's in the subjective mind, and it'll come into your conscious mind, and it starts to control you. You've got a gregarious urge. That's why we live in cities. We get together in groups. We don't be off by ourselves like hermits somewhere. These urges are powerful, but the most powerful one is the sex urge. And we want to get in charge and start to control it the proper way. It's this sex urge or creative urge where genius comes from. We've all got genius within us. We've got to put ourselves in that vibration. He talks about Dr. Gates going to his personal communication room. He turned out all the lights, put himself in a very relaxed state, and permit himself to move into that frequency. And the ideas would flood into his mind. It was the same method that Edison used for his ideas. All great work is done when people are on a very high frequency. And it's this energy that does that. And we can keep it balanced. That doesn't mean you have one, you have sex, or you have the creative production of things. That's not the way it is. You can have both, and you can move in both directions. So you want to take and direct it the way you want it to go. And we found that individuals that will put themselves in a very relaxed, quiet state, and then permit that energy to really soar within them, that's where they move into a genius vibration. See, genius lies within us all. There's perfection in every one of us. It's the spiritual essence of who we are, and spirit's always for expansion and for expression. This is how we move it to a high level. And it's not that you make it go there, you let it go there. You let yourself move into that frequency. And as you do, great things happen. Like there's all kinds of creative ventures that you can be involved in. There's creative solutions to problems or challenges that you may face in your business. There's opportunities that are attached to what you're doing now, extensions of what you're doing now. Where do they come? How do they come? They come by permitting this energy to move to a very high frequency, take us there, and really enjoy staying there and leaving ourselves open for these creative genius ideas to fly into our mind. See, the problem I think most people have is they think she can, but I can't, or he can, but I can't. They have something going for them that I don't have. Every person has the same thing going for them. It's just that one person learns how to utilize their powers and another person does not. So it all moves into a matter of awareness. It all moves into a matter of education. And he points that out. And he points out that education is really bringing out what we've got within. And the sex urge is the highest urge. It's the highest function. And that's where the great creative ideas come, when we permit that urge to soar in our consciousness and take us and show us what we can do, because that's how it comes. It comes in quiet moments in your mind. The desire or urge for sexual expression is natural and inborn. It should not be suppressed or eliminated. Instead, it should be given an additional beneficial outlet. Sex transmutation is redirecting the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of another creative effort. According to Hill, doing this has the potential to transform mediocrity into genius. And that's what sexual energy or desire has to do with getting rich and manifesting your dreams. Sex desire is the most powerful of human desires. When driven by this desire, people develop keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. Get out your notebook. Write the mystery of sex transmutation at the top of the page. And then I'm going to use this principle in the following way. And then finish that sentence in your notebook. Don't overthink it. Just tune into your own powerful intuition and record on paper what comes to you. Do it now.
So let's take 30 seconds and based on what you heard, what are you going to do about it? Like, how are you going to use this power? Are you going to study this more? You're going to ask me more questions? Are you going to book a meeting? Or are you going to say, what am I missing out on? Because this is real. This is where the rubber hits the road. People collect information and do nothing with it. Or I inspire you to dig deeper into it and see how much more fuel and start cooking with gas, baby. Like, that's what I want you to do. I want you to start cooking with gas. Like, be on a different frequency and vibration. You need to show up like this. You need to become like that. You need to, this is what this should do. This should inspire you. So I'm going to write one sentence, what I'm going to do different after this, listening to this today. Okay. Now, I promise to share with you some more names of people that have used this to develop their genius. And like I said, I'm blessed that I have two mentors that are pretty much geniuses themselves, and they've been studying genius for a long time. So it's pretty cool. So this comes in very, very handy, this chapter. Now, where is it then? Here we go. Oh, where are the names? List of names is right here. It's coming up. Sorry, guys. I have to keep it in a big font and then I have to scroll down. So look at that. Look at that. You see these names on the screen? George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, William Shakespeare. I mean, I didn't read a lot of literature when I was a kid, and you probably have. Oh, the screen is not being shared? Oh, all right. So let's share the screen. I don't know why. We'll share it right now. Let's see what's going on. Sometimes Zoom is doing funny stuff. Apologies about that. So here we go. We're going to do it right now. So here it is. I think we got it now. There we go. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. So look at these names. Look at the facts that you know, the biographies of these certain men and how much of achievements they've done in terms of literature, winning wars, growing countries, crossing borders, nations. I mean, every one of these individuals, look what it says. Each of whom was known to have been of a highly sexed nature. The genius which was theirs undoubtedly found its source of power in transmuted sex energy. So I'm not making up stuff here. This is fact. This is exact science. So we're not talking about the physical aspect of sex. Look at this. Unfortunately, only the genius individual have made the discovery. They figured it out. Others, the 95%, 98% who do nothing with their lives, have accepted the experience of sex urge as just a physical thing without discovering one of its major potentialities, a fact which accounts for the great number of others as compared to the limited number of geniuses. Look at these names again. I'm sure you know 1, 2, or 3 of them. They've done amazing things, and that the genius behind them is this power. Transmutation of sex energy. Now you can add more names to this list. If you can find a name in all history of civilization who achieved outstanding success in any calling, who was not driven by a well-developed sex nature. In front of every man, there was a great woman. There was always something that has to do with this energy. And so let's read these names. George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, William Shakespeare, Abraham Lincoln, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Robert Burns, Thomas Jefferson, Albert Hubbard, Albert H. Gray, Oscar Wilde, Woodrow Wilson, John Patterson, Andrew Jackson, Enrico Caruso. Now, that is a phenomenal finding. That is a phenomenal finding. And you probably know more people in music. You probably know more people in art that show this. So why are we not using it? Why are we not using this power? What are we waiting for? There's only one reason. There's only one reason. I'm going to put it right here. The only one reason we're not using it is because we're ignorant. Ignorance. And like I always say, we got to become knowledgeable. We need the knowledge. We need the knowledge. The reason we're not using this power is because we just don't know. And we need to start knowing. We need to go from ignorance. It's hard to type with the mouse. To knowledge. How do you do that? How do we do that? Number 1, we study. Number 2, elite level mentorship. And number 3, accountability. So for those who are clients, that's what you're getting. If you want to learn how this works, that's how this works. You gotta start getting onto the frequency and vibration of your desire. Look at this, and then this lesson will be over. We're gonna finish with this. And then I'm gonna share with you a win that is incredible. Sex energy is the creative energy of all genie. There never has been and never will be a great leader, builder, or artist lacking in this driving force of sex. Surely no one will misunderstand these statements to mean that all who are highly sexed are genie. Man attains to the status of a genie only one, and if he stimulates his mind so that it draws upon the forces available through the creative faculty of the imagination. This is lesson 3, 4, and 5 in thinking into results. If you want to learn how to draw, if you want to learn how to get the power to come to and through you, if you want to learn how to use your higher mental faculties, you need to learn how to do lesson 3, 4, and 5 and thinking into results. That's why I say it's science and psychology, right? Chief among the stimuli with which this stepping up of the vibration may be produced is sex energy. The mere possession of this energy is not sufficient to produce a genius. The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will lift one to the status of a genius. Far from becoming genie, because of great sex desires, the majority of men lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to the status of lower animals. So again, that's what usually happens. People misuse this power and they become reckless and they do silly stuff. And it's not about having 10 girlfriends and 10 wives and no, none of that. This is pure power that's available to all of us. And all you have to do is ask for it. And it will come to you. But you're going to have to want it. Right? You're going to have to want it. So you've been listening to a piece of the 6 a.m. club, and today has been incredible. It was about the mystery of sex transmutation. I am going to continue studying this lesson today because honestly, it was a big lesson. There's a lot of stuff to study in it, and I haven't finished it. So I'm going to continue reading it. If you like what you heard and you want more, you know what to do. You reach out. And for those who are clients, keep going, keep doing the thing. It's clarity will come. The key is just allow yourself that next level of success. Because if I can do this, you can do this. The way I see it, there's basically so much power available that we're not using. We're just not using. Thank you, Larissa. Have a great day, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you in the BNI meeting that's coming up. With that, I am gonna finish off with the gratitude visualization again, because we want to be able to harness this power, and then we'll end the 6 a.m. Okay, so let's do that. So thanks for coming in, and thanks for listening. And for those who sent comments and stuff, we will reach out to you later on.
Close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath. And I want you to just visualize this violet light and energy that's coming in through the top of your head. And streamers, I want you to be doing this too. Close your eyes and just see this beautiful violet light and energy coming in. It's your power that's flowing into you. I want you to just deeply relax. Just let your hands drop. Relax your feet and your legs. Take a big breath through your diaphragm. Take another breath. I want you to just imagine this violet energy and it's flowing in. And picture yourself, you're just on this river. It's a soft flowing river. You're floating in a little boat and it's just flowing. It's a river of timelessness. There's no time and space. You just feel this beautiful energy flowing to and through you. And understand that within you is so much power. And it's so marvelous. And it's all for your greater good. And it's all directed by your thought. And you are behind your thought. I want you to see yourself and you're talking to somebody and they're looking at you and their eyes are bright and they're just looking at you. They're so happy to just be with you and talk with you. And you're making them feel so good about themselves. They feel like they're better off because of you and the impact that you've had on them and how you've made them think of them. And this violet energy is just flowing to and through you. I want you to feel it coming in through your head. Really feel it just softly swirling around, and it's a cleansing energy. Any chaotic ideas, any confusion, any fear is just flowing right out with that violet light, which is coming to and through you. And it just disappears when it flows through you. And it flows down into your neck and into your chest. And you feel so calm. And you get this feeling of certainty. Certainty that you're on the right path. Confidence that you're becoming aware of everything you need to become aware of to live the life that you want to live. And as it's flowing through your body, just feel it go down one arm and the other, and it goes through your fingertips, and then it comes right back through your head, and it's circulating, continually circulating and cleansing and leaving you feel beautiful and calm and confident, and understanding that this marvelous inner world is your world and that you can do whatever you want. It's not just going to work for somebody else. It's working for you right here, right now. You choose your experience, and it's flowing down through your torso into your lower body, and you just really have an understanding of what a great person you are, how kind you are, how generous you are, how you're always outward thinking. How can I make a difference? How can I help somebody? How can I raise my awareness and translate it for someone else to help them? And just see yourself right now. You're the director of your life. Really see and feel yourself having an experience that can only happen after your big goal is manifested. It's in your physical world, and you're experiencing this and you're feeling it. And this violet energy is swirling around, building your confidence, building your awareness. Really lock that in and feel immense gratitude that you have an awareness that only a very, very small percent of people in the world have. And you have faith in this power within you. And you know no matter what, you can direct it. Always bring it back to this place. I want you to just take a deep breath and lock that feeling in. And just think gratitude. In every cell of your being, gratitude. A deep, deep appreciation for where you are, right here and right now. There's a marvelous inner world. It exists within you. And it allows you to do, to attain, and to achieve anything you want within the bounds or limits of nature. You decide what that is for you. Now I want you to come back, open your eyes, lock that in, really lock it in, keep it with you all day. Open your eyes.
There you are. Lock it in all day. Thanks again. Have a good day.